Whoa, what is this? Is that the third red light? I didn't know they added them to the game. Well, that's because they didn't. What you saw on the screen was a concept of how the red light would look indoors, at least according to what I think, and it may be a little different from what you are used to. You likely noticed that they are speaking in Morse code, but why are they doing this, and how is this accurate to the game at all? Well, in this video, we'll be diving into how and when the third red light, which has been teased for literal years now, will finally be added to the game. So, with all of that being said, let's begin. Alright, so as you all probably know, in addition to Guiding and Curious Light, it's been heavily teased that there exists a third red light, who is, of course, red in color, and is represented by the modifier symbol. This third red light doesn't have an official name, but the community has been calling it Mischievous Light for the time being, given how they seem to be somewhat against the player's motives, unlike the other two lights. Now, this third red light is unique, as we the player have never directly interacted with them, like how we have with Guiding and Curious Light. We haven't even seen their sparkles yet, the signature particle that tells us a light character is physically present. At most, we've just seen this character's actions, such as how it prevents us from crucifying boss entities by turning the crucifix red. Now, immediately, when Mischievous Light was first revealed in the Hotel Plus update, players speculated as to what their personality would be like and how a death screen involving them could play out. However, in all the concepts I've seen with this, I haven't seen one which truly captures the essence of the character. You see, Mischievous Light seems to be a character that works in the shadows, one who is actively avoiding a confrontation with the player. Hence why they are so secretive and why we've only ever seen their actions rather than their physical sparkles. This makes it very unlikely that we would ever meet them face to face in game, as their motives and personality just seem to prevent the character from directly interacting with us. Nevertheless, we can still include these character traits into a hypothetical death screen involving Mischievous Light. If you recall, Guiding Light's personality is that they are always helpful and encouraging towards us. Curious Light is snarky and a little secretive at times. As I described, the red light appears to be very secretive, as well as being very cryptic, lore-heavy, and somewhat antisocial, at least towards the player, and I've incorporated these qualities into their death message concept. As you can see, unlike Guiding Light, who solely provides information, and Curious Light, who sometimes provides it, Mischievous Light provides none, only speaking in very brief, cryptic sentences. Something you probably noticed as well is that they speak in Morse code. You see, given the antisocial nature of this character, I think it would be fitting if when they were forced to speak to the player, they would make it as hard for us to understand as possible. Most people don't know Morse code off the top of their head, so although their messages do actually mean something, it's likely players wouldn't be able to understand it without the use of a translator, which further enhances the cryptic feeling of interacting with Mischievous Light. I also played around with the idea of, instead of the third light speaking in Morse code, they would actually speak in Wingdings. This is the language in which lore-important messages such as the Crucifix Sigil's secret message are written in. And I think if Mischievous Light spoke in this, it would be the most fitting, as it's already a font used in the game and it would fit the lore-heavy theme of this character. However, seeing how I don't know how to make the Wingdings font work in the Guiding Light death screen, I had to settle for Morse code instead, which still gives the same effect. However, I do think using Wingdings would be better if this route is taken. Now, as I had described previously, I doubt we would actually ever see Mischievous Light in-game, at least their sparkles or even a death message, unless they were absolutely forced to by some external party, as given their current characteristics it doesn't seem to be in their best interests. If I had to guess, the only time the player character would ever come face to face with Mischievous Light is at the climax of the entire game's story, or something like that, as unless they just have a complete personality swap, it appears only some massive force can push this character out of hiding. So with all of that being said, although it isn't likely we will see a Mischievous Light death screen anytime soon, I think this concept does a decent job conveying what an accurate one could look like. So, with all of that being said, let me know what you all think of this character in the comments, and if you're up to the challenge, try to figure out what Mischievous Light is saying in this concept dialogue. So, with all of that being said, thank you all for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.